What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm hanging out in the beer shed, getting ready to check out some new beers. Now, the first beer I have today is called the Wobbler Common Lager, and this is from Levante Brewing out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. I've done two of their beers, and I wasn't sure if it's pronounced Levant or Levante. Somebody commented in one of the other videos and says it's Levante, so my apologies if I've been mispronouncing it. Now, this says it's a California-style common lager, 4.5% alcohol by volume. Has the hops listed. It says Northern Brewer and Fuggle. Keep cold, drink fresh. And if we look at the can art here, it obviously looks like the handprint turkey that most of us made as kids when you were in school. And I guess this was supposed to be a Thanksgiving or a fall kind of beer. But it looks pretty decent to me. Now, I'm thrilled to see this because I don't know about you guys, but every time I go to the store, like the beer selection is getting worse and worse. First off, all the stuff that used to be beer is shrinking, and now we have all these weird seltzers and I don't know what they are, kombuchas and weird crap taking over the beer parts. And then when you do get to the beer part, it's like 85% IPAs. I kid you not, I went to Kroger yesterday, and they had like one whole cooler, and they had like all the different beers, and I swear to you, 9 out of 10 was IPAs or some variation on IPAs. There are very few other types of beers, which just, I don't know, just starts to get on my nerves. I understand people like IPAs. I have no problem with that. But make something else, man. It can't be 85-90% IPAs. It's just become madness. Now, this here is a common lager, so I'm quite happy with that. I've had this idea forever. A lot of times when you go to breweries, it's dominated by IPAs, or maybe they're doing stranger styles that the average beer drinker who is maybe new to the craft scene doesn't really enjoy or doesn't know enough about to appreciate. Maybe I should rephrase it. The thing I think that every brewery should have is a $5 lager. And you know how they do like Black is Beautiful, or we do all these ones where we share the recipe with all the different breweries and they make their own version of it? It would be super cool if they did that with the $5 lager. Make something that's affordable. I mean, I know the breweries want people to support them, and most people want to help their local breweries because we don't want to just drink Bud Miller and Coors. Problem is, a lot of us can't afford it anymore. Now that beers are inching up $7, $8, $9 a piece, that's kind of expensive day out for the average Joe, especially with Bidenomics wreaking havoc on the economy. So, something as simple as one beer out of your list of 20 that's $5 and is kind of a common recipe where you know you're going to like it. Maybe if you're new to craft beer, you can check it out. Or if you're someone who's been around a while and just doesn't feel like drinking a bunch of sours or heavy, dark beers or the ever-present IPAs, this would be a nice alternative. The $5 lager. Make it happen, people. So, this one, like I said, 4.5% ABV, 29 IBUs. Not a whole lot much else on the can. As far as ratings, it does pretty good. Untappd 3.67, Beer Advocate 3.8, although it was only 2 reviews, so I guess that's an NA. Sample size is too small. All right, so first things first. It looks nice when it pours into the glass here. So I have, this is pretty clear. You can see through it. Nice amber color. If I have my Brew HQ SRM chart, maybe like a 19 or so. Dark amber. Looks good. 18, 19, something like that. Head is creamy color. It's not white. It's kind of slightly khaki. And I had about a finger's worth of it there. You can see some fine bubbles rising up through there. Honestly, to me, this looks like Yingling when you see it in the glass, right? So let's give it a sniff. Not a whole lot going on. If you ask me, it kind of just has a generic lager kind of smell. You get a little bit of maltiness. Now, the only thing that might be slightly different in this is there's almost a bit of maybe like a citrusy smell as well that I wouldn't usually say is in, the average lager. So, I mean, if we're separating this from something like Yingling that many people might be familiar with, I think you definitely get that same kind of Yingling lagery smell, but you get something else as well, a little bit of a citrusy note there as well, to break it up a little bit, make it a little bit different. So, smells good. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Body on this is quite light. It's kind of funny again. Kind of reminds me of Yingling a wee bit. Now, if this is a brewery, Westchester, PA is just outside of Philly. Yingling is pretty popular in that area now. Many years ago, I remember when I went to college in the 90s at Kutztown. It's only about an hour from Philly, coming home over break and trying to order Yingling, and people making fun of me and telling me they don't serve Japanese beer here and all kinds of other terrible crap. And then you come back to those same places a few years later, and they have signs, proudly serving Yingling since 1973. And I know that's a lie, because I was here a few years ago and you didn't have it and made fun of me. Body, light. Taste, light sweetness, light malt. And you do get a little bit of a citrus hint to it as well. So I think that distinguishes it from your regular run-of-the-mill lager. But if you're looking for something that's maybe similar to Yingling, but a little bit of a step above, this would be a decent beer for you. So I kind of like it. Again, I'm a lager fan. I grew up drinking these kinds of beers. I didn't really drink Bud Miller and Coors. I drank Yingling most of the time, to be honest, when I was in college. So I've always been a bit of a fan. I know it's not the finest beer in the world, but everybody has that one beer that you have some loyalty to, even though maybe it's not as great as you think it was. And that's, for me, is Yingling. This tastes like a better version of that. So I think if this is what they were aiming for, just like kind of common lager, something that you can easily share with people, you're not going to get mangled because it's only 4.5%. None of the flavors are offensive. This knocks it out of the park. This is a solid beer. Now, I've been drinking a lot of Columbus, has a lager, Columbus lager that I drink. This would fall in my rotation if I could get this pretty easily. Like I said, nice light body, decent flavors. It hits it out of the park for me. So big thumbs up for the Wobbler. Now, I'm a little bit late. Should have probably done this around Christmas or something, given the turkey on here, but it's still solid. It's a good beer, and again, I would drink it regularly if I could get a hold of it. So, hopefully, if you like the video, you'll give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. As always, you got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you tried the Wobbler or any of the other Levante Brewing beers? I think I've had 3 now. I've had this, the pickle, the Philly Dilly Pickle one, and then the Cloudy and Cumbersome. And all 3 of them have been pretty solid, so I'd like to try some more of their beers. Hey, till next time, cheers.